All right, back to the competition. Smack Off number 19. I'm Jim Rome. This guy's been here before. You're talking about a made guy now. He's been here before. He's had a good look at it a number of years. Is this the year that he finally breaks on through? We go to the OC. Joe in the OC. It's good to have you, Joe. How are you?
Romy, it's Friday. So, Jim, I know we're expected to go after Chael this year, but that's not really how I want to play it. And frankly, I couldn't pick Chael out of a lineup. And although based upon his Wikipedia page, at some point I'm probably going to have to. Listen, Chael, people are going to say some pretty cruel things about you today, but don't worry about it. In a few years, you won't recall anything, much less any of this. You've received more blows in the head than Senator Larry Craig. You're 18 months away from sounding like Peter McNeely. So, Rome, I've pretty much gone off the smack off rails, and I want to make it right. You know, I had a string of top 3 finishes, and now I have trouble just cracking the top 10. And I know there's guys like Kaplan Nation out there constantly saying how much the smack off isn't what it used to be. Well, I'd like to think my record proves otherwise. You know, by the way, Kaplan Nation, I think after 6 years, you can finally stop obsessing about the smack off. I mean, don't you have your own radio show? You know, this isn't like my daughter's Pee-wee soccer game. It's not something to get all worked up over. You know, I've got restraining orders for less. You know, sometimes you get caught just checking out a girl, and she closes her blinds and calls the cops. So why did I fall so far so fast? I attribute this to immaturity, not knowing what's appropriate, and not having enough soiled pants material. This year I tend to be more mature and elevate the conversation. You know, Roman, there's so much going on in sports right now that's more important than smack. When you read about all these teens who are bullied or commit suicide because they're gay, and the male professional athletes like Jason Collins or Robbie Rogers blaze a trail by coming out, it's monumental. It saves lives. Even guys sharing that they were molested, like R.A. Dickey as a child, or Brad and Corona last month at a Whole Foods parking lot. These are the type of important issues that @OCJoe1 now talks about. But for every step forward, there's prejudice that just makes me shake my head. You know, like Brittany Griner's college coach telling her not to discuss her sexuality. Who exactly was this coach trying to protect? Intolerant blind people? You know, even Adrian Peterson said he wasn't really with gay marriage, but then he later says he's glad to have a gay teammate. So just so I understand you, Adrian, you'd like to have a single gay teammate. And I thought Ozzie Canseco had the lamest comment when he said, I've spent my entire adult life trying to convince chicks I'm Jose. Now Jaron Collins is going to spend his trying to convince dudes he's not Jason. Way to go. Stay classy, Ozzie. So, Rome, in the spirit of maturity, I also want to discuss important women's issue. You know, to all these people who got on Angelina Jolie for having a preventative mastectomy, get the hell off her. She has a genetic mutation that makes her prone to breast cancer and hooking up with other people's husbands. It's her body. And who really cares what's underneath a mound of silicone? You know, when your kids are playing at a bounce house, they don't complain about the grass being too hard. And she's bringing awareness to an important issue that saves lives. Derrick Rose was so inspired, he's scheduling a similar procedure to prevent testicular cancer. And another important transcendent issue that I want to talk about is a 31-year-old legend winning her 16th major tennis championship, despite growing up playing on public courts with virtually no role models of her same ethnicity. Serena is one of the most remarkable champions of our lifetime, period. Venus, too. And I can't wait to see their new documentary, especially after it got 2 thumbs cold and gray from Roger Ebert. And I just wish their film had stayed with its original working title of Serena and Venus. They put the D Cup and A Cup in U.S. Davis Cup. And let me close by saying I'd like to see Brad or Mike or Vic or anyone else try and elevate the conversation of such important issues instead of kicking each other in the shins. And let me just say to all the listeners, if any of you don't respect me or what I just did or what I've been doing for the last 10 years, going up against guys like this,
you have a big dump in your pants.
Timeless. Out.
Timeless. Joe in the OC. All right, Joe. Well done. Nicely done. Will he be back in the top 10 right now? Or this year? 1-800-636-8686. The callers that have made it through so far without being run. Dan in D.C., Mike in Wichita, Dave in St. Louis, Trapper, and Joe from the OC. Where are you going to slot that phone call? Remember, the ultimate decision is final. It's on the XR4TI. You're welcome to vote. Hit us on Twitter, @JimRome, hashtag it SmackOff. It matters. We'll take it into consideration. Every year there's a controversy. Seemingly every single year, a certain portion of you are bent out of shape, that we didn't get it right, that we had some sort of agenda, that there was some sort of conspiracy. There never is. There is no agenda. There is no conspiracy. You might not agree with our selection, but it's our selection. That's the way we hear it. That's the way we saw it. That's what we decided. Just keep that in mind. The fix is never in. It's never about what's good for the show.